I got your favorite thing, Aaron.
Fuck you.
Got your favorite thing.
I swear to God, when we actually
Let's
get a
see.
chance to do the podcast episode
Bro,
like all together,
no,
I'm pretty sure that
I'm
thing's gonna be
saying
broken.
when we see Aaron in September, I'm gonna come up behind his ass and just on the back of his shoulder.
That shit's gonna go over my knee, bro.
Boom, like you owe me $6, bro. Buy me a new one.
He thinks I'm joking, bro. You touch me with that thing, it's going over my knee.
This is how I'm gonna come up and tap you though. Like I'm not gonna tell you. Like I'm gonna call you and be like, I'm here. All right, where you at, fool? You gotta find me. I'm gonna come up and just
Uh, Gonna be the quickest backhand you
the
might
quick.
ever get. in your entire
Man. And what sucks is I can't duck it because if I duck, he's still gonna hit me because like we're like this much
We're safe
apart
fucking
in
height.
height. Yeah. So if I can't duck, I'm gonna have to just.
If you ever wanted to know how to put together a deck, especially a CEDH deck with proxies, that's what we're going to be talking about today with Vibe Proxies. Now, first, before we get into that, if you guys aren't a part of the Patreon, make sure you go head over there and join all of the other members that we have in there. And make sure you sign up for the $10 tier so you can get one extra piece of content every single week outside of this podcast. Let's go ahead and hop into the conversation. Today, we have a guest with us, man. We got Vibe Proxies with us, bro. How you doing? Just introduce yourself a little bit, what you do, and just let people know who you are.
Sure. Thank you. First invite, always appreciate it. And my name is Vibe Proxies. I'm a proxy artist, content creator, and community supporter. You can find me on all social media by that. And so, what I'm here for today is always advocating for the community, especially how do you get into CDH? And I think I try to make it as easy as possible. I have an Etsy store, got pre-made decks, but it's also what am I playing? What is everyone playing? And that's where I want to break down my thought process on that. So CEDH, a lot of like when I was an purely EDH player, I was like, oh, this is just some elitist bullshit, honestly.
Oh, we've all had those thoughts. It's all good.
Yeah,
We've all
but
been there.
after playing with it and getting into really the format, even to the extent of the meta, it's two different things, honestly. It's like racing and then F1 racing. There
For
is
sure.
right.
For sure. I used to use
completely different.
What do we use, Aubrey? We used to use the term, okay, so EDH for casual, tabletop, is more of a race to beat each other up.
Yeah.
CEDH is a race, everybody's racing to their win con quickest.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? While still trying to stop everybody in the process. One
Right.
is more fisticuffs, one is more how quick can I get this win at any means possible.
You know,
Yeah.
one's NASCAR, was Need for Speed. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No.
You know?
Yeah. And I'd say this is why I'm as a builder and a creator, it's like you have to balance what is currently popular because as an entrepreneur, you have to understand what sells,
Mhm,
For
but
sure.
it's also
Yep.
for CDH what is established.
mhm.
Mhm.
So, like my first deck and my most popular is Ashton.
Okay.
He is, I would say, underrated in terms of CEDH level, but the way the meta is changing, eh, you're seeing because certain key pieces were removed over the ban list over the years, what was previously dominant has changed. Like
Mhm.
ETL,
Yeah, just the
that
meta
Yeah.
changing overall. For sure.
power through spells, especially with the changing list of instead of just duplicating, making ETL copies, which is great, but also having the addition of like some cascade creatures. So
Mhm.
even if you have something like silence or mind break tap, you're only hitting one,
Right.
whereas you're still powering through. So that explosive tempo combo decks versus I'm my more proficient use of the deck is Winota. I stacked up, whereas people, if you can win turn one or two, this has a disadvantage, but if you're able to slow it down and just get that cumulative advantage, it is honestly a very powerful deck.
Mm-hmm.
I see it.
And now,
Is it?
from
Yeah.
something I've seen and what Levi said, that when they went to New Mexico, was like a lot of his games went to what, like turn 4, 5,
Yeah.
6 sometimes. Like they went to these like
Mhm.
mid-game, mid-range, turns.
Just
Whereas,
late game stuff.
if you look at the meta, I'm pretty sure most of the decks he played against were turbo, more likely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know for most of mine. Well, it was kind of a mixed bag. I had a few RAL players. I maybe only played against one blue farm
Mhm.
my entire day of Swiss. And then, I think there was like a Rock side player and just a few
Oh,
of the, main like turbo-y stuff,
Mhm.
but everything else was a little like either off meta or considered fringe.
Hmm.
Like there was a Kefka player, and then oh man, what was the other? Like somebody played Go Go, and I was like, whoa, okay, like what year is it? That's crazy.
A
Um,
lot of Kennen players. A lot of Kennen
yeah.
players.
Now, now Aubrey was there too. We kind of talked about a little bit of your pods. Because you played Atali, and then
Yes, I did. Yeah.
overall, who did you see the most in your Swiss day? I mean, overall,
Kennen,
a lot of Kennen.
Kafka. Just thinking about that, and then those were the ones that just kind of like I noticed a lot of like everyone. Some like I think there was one Thrasios and Timna. So if I can
That's
remember, I'm
so
not sure.
interesting, bro. That's
So
so interesting to me because, like, if you go online, look at YouTube, whatever, you know what I mean,
mhm.
play to win dudes, whatever, and pretty much the only things that you see talked about online are like the Rock Thrash, the Timnacrom, whatever.
Sisay.
All of
Yeah.
the Sisay, like you see those ones, but when you go to tournaments with hundreds of people, you rarely see them. So,
Mhm.
Vibe, I guess. Let me get your thoughts on that. Why do you think that kind of is? Why do you think only those kind of like top ones are talked about, but not necessarily played by a lot of people?
oh, okay, this is the difference. This is online discussion versus your tournament. For example, I would say like the recent deck I'm building is Kinnan.
Okay.
It's a classic mid range.
Hmm?
It has some updates, but the core list is just artifacts, counter, your win con.
Yeah,
It this is why I say the online discussion is especially being populated by certain creators
Mm,
who
for
will
sure.
popularize a certain deck. The issue will be understanding the deck.
For sure.
And I believe is when people play it, they play I wouldn't say bad, but it's not as familiar as someone who plays with a certain deck consistently. So in situations X, Y, and Z,
mm-hmm,
Yeah,
I have either the card I need or some way to get the card, which will lead me to either winning or having to be a turn behind an X player.
mm-hmm.
right.
And you're seeing a lot of also tournaments versus local pods. Like there's
For sure.
regional differences
Oh
because
yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
let's talk like we discussed earlier internationally. I know we see a lot of, at least myself, I see a lot of the fringe text coming from places where you're not being exposed to a lot of the YouTube
Hmm.
podcast creator aspects. So, like, let's say Japan, they'll just produce some lists where some just weird text that when
Right.
you try, it's like, oh, this works.
Mm-hmm.
I see why.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I've noticed that. I've seen a few creators. Oh, I won't drop his name here, but like he did a video recently about Japan's like CEDH scene, and just looking at some of the deck lists, you look at it from like our standpoint, from like how the U.S. plays and like our EDH top 16, Sisay, Blue Farm, X, Y, and Z. You're gonna see those typical decks, but the decks he showcased, I looked at him and I go, what in the world? How does this work? And then you look at it and you put it all together and you're like, Yo, I would have never thought about this. This would smash like, 2 or 3 of these top meta decks, but it's just, like you're saying, like it's different from region to region, playstyle to playstyle. Me and Aaron, we saw that a lot when it came to the fighting game community. Depending on what region of the U.S. or of the globe, kind of depended on what character you mained. In this example, what deck do you consistently play? Stuff like that. It kind of varies.
Yeah, it's kind of
Um,
crazy that that's across the board.
yeah,
Literally,
yeah,
it's
I've
across
noticed
the board.
that.
Like
We talk
everything,
about it
right?
at
Yeah.
least once or
Yeah,
twice a month.
yeah, dude.
Like fighting games to Magic and how they
To
kind of
Magic.
like,
Yeah,
yeah, how they
How they
correspond.
correlate. Yeah.
No, but I do agree with you, Matt, in the fact that it is a lot of online, and whether it be creators, podcasts, channels X, Y, and Z pushing certain decks because they see that yes, they're popular, yes, they have good results, and so everybody's like, oh, let's pick up Blue Farm. Surely I'll be able to win. I'm like, nah, man, you really
No.
gotta be,
They
yeah,
have
you
no
gotta have
idea how to
some.
Yeah.
use it.
You're gonna need to pilot that thing at least a good 20, 30, 40 games until you're gonna be able to execute every comp. And I've picked up a Blue Farm. I've looked at it and played it in a casual round, and I was just like, oh, bro, there are so many lines that you can do, but you are so mana fixed that you're going to need to know every single line before you're going to really be effective with this
Mm-hmm.
at all.
And
Oh,
this
pardon
is
me.
where, like, this is the hardest part, at least from the entrepreneurial side, is like, what do you actually put versus playing? Because I can
Right.
play whatever and just like, I want to play this versus what is the longevity of this deck
Mm-hmm.
versus another one.
For sure.
Because Ashan is fun, but it's French.
For sure.
And then I'm right now pushed Firelord Azula. It is French, but it's so fun, and especially
She's
like I would say it's one of those that it seems intimidating to use for a first time, but it's so straightforward. Uh, just like with Winota and
Yuriko.
Magora.
Magora. Yep.
Yes, these are CDH decks that don't they have I don't want to say they don't have a lot of different playstyle lines, but the major lines don't require too much mental bandwidth to
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
take
properly.
yeah.
a player that's used to high end bracket 4, and they're looking to get into CDH, and these are some straightforward like, hey, this is your game plan, this is what you're looking for in your opener, and here's where you want to be by turn 2, 3. It's pretty straightforward, and I mean that's why I think I've stuck with Yuriko and Crick and things of that nature so long, is just because they are kind of, I guess you'd say, fringe, but at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, they're just really easy to pilot if you know your fundamentals. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's why I
Oh yeah.
like freaking Raph and Mikey, dude.
yo, fair.
Yo,
It is
Crazy.
literally play
Oh,
them,
Crazy.
turn stuff sideways. All you need to
fucking
do.
literally, bro. Get them out. Let me get all
Turn
this.
them
Let me get all this
sideways.
fast mana. Boom. Turn 2. Put them out. Swing.
Swing.
Game, dude.
yo,
Can't. Can't.
remember our first communication, and it was Justin. It was I. As soon as I saw that, I was like, "Oh, this is something I wanted to do."
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
And like in your Discord, it helped me like on my list
Mm-hmm.
because
Oh
I'm
yeah.
opening a second store, doing that one, and I've been goldfishing, testing
Mm-hmm.
because I want to make sure.
There you go.
Yeah, because I tried it a couple times on friends podcast, Homebrew Deck Tech,
Okay, yeah, yeah.
and I was able to turn to it
Mm-hmm.
and then hit into ancient brass dragon,
Oh, there you
Mm-hmm.
go.
It's,
and then it's like no one had a response, so I was like, already took out one of the mana ones. I'll probably draw into a second attack
Mm-hmm.
spell, or at least with the Ralph, my game Ralph trigger, look for another Port Razor
Mm-hmm.
or
yep.
Ancient Hellkite,
Mm-hmm.
and then I can just go infinite and game it.
Then you get the dragon fucking turn too. Now you're just sitting on freaking treasure tokens.
Yeah.
Just sitting on them,
Yep.
bro. Literally. So yeah, it's super fun. It's super fun and it's super straightforward. So like anybody that plays freaking Gruul, if you want a CDH deck, 100% recommend that one. It's just like
Yes.
it's straight up what you want to do. Just get big boy on field and swing, and that's pretty
Let the
much
deck do its thing after
let the
that.
thing
Yeah.
do
do its
let it
thing.
do its
Yeah.
thing, bro. It is what it is, bro. So I know there's a lot of places that still till this day don't necessarily want you to play proxy decks. Now we
Mhm.
all know how expensive CDH can be. It's
Right.
fucking ridiculously expensive with how big some of the staple cards are, being the Moxes and all this other stuff. So what necessarily pushed you into like building fully proxy decks?
Okay. This one was because prior to this, I had a Ko-Fi. I still have a Ko-Fi where I put some of my like experimental token proxies that I can't for sell because of the IP.
Mm.
But people were enjoying that, and then I just took it to the next level because it's, I would say precons are a great gateway to get into NTG. But if you want to get into CDH, if you're going the all card route, you're gonna have to start with a certain deck. Like Magra, it used to be, I forgot the samurai where he could attack again.
Oh, your brother plays him, Aubrey.
Ryu.
Ryu.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It used to be the more easiest, affordable CDH deck. But now, I mean, if because of scarcity, because of certain cards you do kind of need for staples,
Mhm.
if you're paying in a pod, 90% don't care. So it's more of, are you playing within the game rules and it's not something offensive?
Right.
Yeah. And so I just make it easily affordable, and also it is visually enjoyable
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because Hashton was based off the work of Junji Ito, his
I feel like I
style.
know this name.
Mhm.
I feel like I
Yeah,
know that name.
it was, he did a secret lair, but also for March, I believe it was March of Machines, he had also the artist cards. So like the Mother Machines, Elish Norn, Mother
Ellis Norm?
Yeah.
Machine.
Elsewhere.
Yeah, he did one of the alt arts for that. So I did one deck, the deck based off one line of his work,
Mhm.
Tomy.
Ooh, okay.
And
Just looked up his stuff.
yeah,
Nice. Ooh, nice.
so I just thought what looks good and what plays good. At the time I was piloting Ashton. So I was like, let me just go. And people loved it. And then
There you go,
go
man.
from there. Like then I did Sephiroth, Fabled Soldier, Mono Black. The lines are straightforward. You have crime and then the
Loves Sephiroth.
Forsaken Miner
Mhm.
and I think Ash, no, not Ashton. I think it's Phyrexian Altar, that line. And
Oh, yeah,
just
yeah.
continue pinging,
Mhm.
ba ba ba
Yeah.
ba,
Mm-hmm.
and consistent 3-4 turn win,
Mhm.
Yo.
Yeah.
and making that art unique to that deck. Each of
Mhm.
my decks, if you go to the store, different styles, different looks, and I think that's what I wanted to bring.
Mhm.
For
Because
sure.
it's like, yes, you can get the official art, but then it goes into like the perspective of, are you trying to make it exactly like, and then you're talking about fraudulent cards.
Mhm.
Right.
Whereas I will let you know these are proxies.
Mhm.
These are my art. These are my proxies.
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to get it confused. You're not trying to rip somebody off and pass it off. No,
Mhm.
you're paying what you're paying, but you're getting value.
Mhm.
Like,
Right.
Okay, dude.
I mean, you're the original art too, and I mean, I think that was a big thing that kind of initially it was like a 50-50 why I started like even having proxies was one is getting into CDH, can't afford, dual lands, moxes, etc. I think that's why all of us in
Mhm.
some way get into printing or
Yep.
Yeah.
having proxies. Yeah, bro, like
Because it's like, I mean, think of like, shoot, like one of the original dual lands, Taiga. That card is a $500 card.
right.
You know what
I
I
Yeah.
mean?
saw
Like,
people at
You're
MGC
crazy.
Vegas paying $700 for an underground C. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
right.
whoo,
Insane. For
no.
what? I wouldn't even be
So,
playing that card at that point. That should be
I'd be like,
like
no, that's gonna sit up
put it in a
there.
frame and sit somewhere, dude. Like
I'm gonna go
screw
get it
that.
right.
graded and it's gonna sit there.
Yeah,
That's
dead
it.
ass.
But so yeah, obviously for the cost, and then I saw originally I didn't see like WotC art proxies. I saw like stuff that you'd see on like Etsy. So it'd be like handmade stuff or,
Hmm.
digital rendered art that people have done, or X, Y, and Z. And I saw
Yeah.
some of those and I'm like, man, some of this art is better than the Wizards art. What is going on?
Hmm.
I'd rather have this than that sometimes.
Right.
And I'm supporting an artist that did it. Like, heck yeah, I
Yeah.
get a 2 for 1.
That is the weirdest thing when now they are Wizards of the Coast. I am saying this as a personal opinion, not alleging anything, but
Disclaimers.
yes, they the book art. I didn't do this, but I know the artist. He started that trend. I did. He gave me some of the PSDs. I have them. I use them for some of my stuff, and that was done years before. Now for the Hobbit, and you look at that. There's the other trend of like when they did the broken frame. Proxy artists were doing
Yep.
that way before
Mm.
even Cloud. That
Yep.
was people were proxying that
I
for
saw
sure.
some of that. I saw that a lot of these Wizards artists were kind of like taking what proxy artists and alter artists were doing with cards and then kind of integrating a little bit of those styles, just a little bit, into like actual licensed cards. And I was like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, hold on. I recognize that. Hold on. And
Yes.
then I'll go find the artist, and I'm like, bro, he published this like 6 years ago. What do you mean? Okay, hold on. So that's not the
No.
first time you can see Hasbro like or Wizards kind of like creeping into the community a little
Yeah.
bit.
Look, man,
The
I
One
mean,
Ring.
at the end of the day, like if we start talking about art, which I mean we are talking about art, but
Yeah, talking about art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like there's no such thing as just
Somebody did it
create.
first.
Yeah, like there's no such thing as that. You know what I mean? Because you're taking inspiration from somewhere.
Right.
Like you can't just make something pop into your mind for you to put on paper and you have not seen it
Oh, I see.
before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
So, I mean, if they're taking inspiration from it, totally fine. You know what I mean? Now, if they do one-to-one copies, it's a problem. Then,
Yeah.
then it becomes a problem. You know
Absolutely.
what I
Then it's
mean?
gonna be a problem.
But if
Absolutely.
it's just like, okay, I'm going to take this style of art, right? I'm going to take the style of proxy or whatever that they're doing, and then I'm going to integrate that into the card. But then the art on the card, it's 100% me.
Identical. Then we
Then
gonna have a
it's
problem.
fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. So
Yeah.
But I
those are my
do
thoughts
see
on
what
it.
you're saying there, Matt, with that what you sent me. Like, yeah, dude. So when did you guys put those out?
Oh, well, this is the second series.
Oh, okay.
So it had to be like at least 2 years prior to this. So at least 23.
That's actually that's bizarre. I wouldn't know how to feel about that one.
No, and this is where it's like people in the art discords, we talk, and it's like now we're comparing who did it. This is where it's like checking deck list and Artlist are very similar because who did this actually better? Because you have established artists.
Right.
I mean, this is your occupation. You're on paper should be doing this X amount of times better. And if a proxy artist who's not just doing this for kicks and giggles can make better, you have to step up your game.
Yeah,
And
you got to start looking elsewhere. Like you got to start looking at your artists, going, "Yo, I found this dude on Etsy in comparison to what we're putting out. What's going on, y'all? Like, come on,
Practice more.
practice
Right.
more, something,
Practice more, dude. I don't know,
Yeah.
bro.
up your game." You know,
Well, I guess going from the art side of things, like hopping into actually building decks, right? So when you look at building a deck, what kind of comes first for you? Like, is it like you choose the commander first, or you look at like what lines you want to play, or do you kind of like look at the meta and kind of see like, okay, that's kind of where we're at right now, so we're gonna go ahead and try to build a deck around that. Like, what do you kind of look to?
Okay. On the actual building process, it depends. Like, for example, Rafa and Mikey,
Mm-hmm.
I knew I wanted to use him as a commander, but the play lines, I wasn't too familiar with Gruul on a CDH level.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking at various ones, and I knew I wanted to be multiple attacks creatures after thinking about it,
Mm-hmm.
but the actual composition, uh, this is prior to that tournament deck win that really created the basis for that. But I remember Play to Win actually mentioning like they were trying to do stacks. I was like, I just wanted to do opposite of that
Yeah.
because
okay.
I was like, just took what was it? Some available green Gruul decks. Take out the non-fluff cards
Mm-hmm.
for it, so I have a basis, and then tweak, like
Mm-hmm.
go iterate. One example of that was my Firelord Azula, which was I knew the shell. I already had seen one,
Mhm.
but the individual list cards I was switching out for like 3 weeks because I see what the deck had, but I didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
So I would swap out certain cards, put some cards like
When you're doing that, are you
uh,
just mainly looking for like consistency and stuff of that nature, more or
yeah,
less? Yeah, for sure.
consistency for me is like on average, you can have a playable hand
Mm-hmm.
without having the necessity in a mulligan. Is
For
it
sure.
optimal? You probably get it better, but at least playable, yes.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
So I look for consistency, understanding the do we need fast mana? Yes, or and what type? Because the Firelord Azula, since you have like Tidal Barracuda, the forgot there's a fairy that lets you play stuff as Flash. So you could have a mix of fast mana and cheap mana rocks. You can
Mm-hmm.
play on your combat easily.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Whereas Obnictus Captive Kingpin, that's my personal always fun deck. But
I want to learn that deck. I've been like
Yeah.
it's
low key.
so easy to pilot. It is like
It's just you want people to get pinged. Every time they get pinged for one, you get a card. Fun stuff.
yes, and if you have one that pings everybody, think of it. You
Mhm.
basically draw 3,
Oh yeah,
and
you're
you
getting
just have
card advantage just around the table instantly.
uh, and you can play some weird off meta cards like Ice Amulet
Oh
for
nice.
0, and then it's technically a mana rock, but you have to
Right.
tap it first for a colored mana to activate later on. But it's just free.
It's just
Play
free.
it, and then it's like draw 3. Okay, uh, if I have mana, Soul Ring, ding 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 again,
Ding, 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 ding,
There you go.
and you just
ding. Again.
and you run it so low. But that's the other thing. It's like with Captive Obnixus, my choice is always going to be spells or rocks that are 1/0, most 2. So it's a storm deck. My objective is to just blurt it out and just know what is going to stop me. It's going to be a rule of law, silence. Even you can work through even like stack spells like Thorn of Amulet. Uh, I forgot. It's a legendary white soldier. She makes everything one more.
Oh crap!
I don't know
My
that, man.
brother-in-law. My brother-in-law plays this card. Crap! I forgot.
Yeah,
I'm terrible.
but that it can storm so fast. So it's understanding the deck, what it actually needs, and once you have experience, you can have a better eye.
Mhm.
Like when I was starting, it was hard to understand why I needed so much like fast mana.
Right.
But now that I understand it, it's like, okay,
Oh, turn 3 a privilege around here. Okay, let's make sure
Right.
we
yeah.
have. Yeah, exactly. So, um, now when you're doing that, like as you're building, I know you're looking for consistency, things of that nature. I mean, there are so many different combos that you can put in so many different decks that it is at this point in Magic, the power creep is so real that there are combos all over the place. When you're building, how do you kind of decide what stays and what goes as far as like combo wise or
Excellent.
win con? You know what I'm saying?
So simply because it's a win con or line, is it the most optimal line? Because in like Thassa Oracle, Demonic, that's an easy
Mhm.
win line. But it's also if you have
Easy
no
to stop.
follow, yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas in Sisay, you're grinding it out.
Right.
So you may only have like a few win cons, but you're getting so much value. Itali, if you can copy 1 or 2 times, you're going to be so far ahead. You're then ultimately set up. So I would say in this case, less is more. And I think understanding, at least from a US perspective, the players are like the current meta I feel changes to instead of what are these specific lines, it's what is the value package that creates some more synergy.
Okay. I see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Magdra is one where you only have a few lines, but everything else adds to the deck so much.
It's just
And
nothing but
then
value.
Yeah.
it's you rarely have any dead cards. So it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, that opponent may drop a Ristic, but I've already set myself up to win. And it's like when the combo player tries to come off, I have a line or card to counter it and still be able to go ahead.
Right. You can go ahead and like push for your win at that point, whether it's at instant speed or if it's you know your next in turn order, either or.
So necessarily, it's not about like. So if you're playing whatever you're playing, but it's not about like just putting as many combo lines in the deck. It's just putting like what combo line could you get off the most consistently within whatever colors you're playing, and then the rest of the deck be just value that I guess goes towards
Protects
that,
your
or
Or
that
supplements
protects
you
it,
getting
or
to that.
something like
protects
that.
your win con,
Yeah.
creates your window,
Yeah.
those main three,
Right.
keep yourself consistent, whether that be card value, mana, whether it's treasures, X, Y, and Z. Make sure you can protect your win con, and then make sure you can stop somebody else's window when we go into like window theory. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or create your own window to win. That's kind of how I've been basing my Yuriko, play styles.
This is where this is where it's like I want any new player to understand. It's like if you get a deck, just stick with it
Mm.
Yeah,
and learn it.
Yeah.
learn
Because
it.
my consistent decks, at least when I'm not working with a deck for a shop, it's of Nicholas and Winota.
Mm.
There you go.
I I love those decks, and I know the lines, and it's when I see the opportunity, I go for it.
Mm.
And that's the best thing about CDH. It's where in CEDH you're trying to enjoy the battle.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
CEDH you enjoy the win. It's because the win is not easy
That's a good way to
Nah,
put
because you
Yeah.
that,
have to
dude.
Yeah.
calculate
That's a good way to
so
put
many
that.
different things.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that. You're here for the good time, baby. But
Mm.
CDH,
Here for the win.
nah,
Going both
I'm
Yeah.
here
ways.
for that win.
Yeah.
So, not for sure. I
so
definitely get that.
so with that being said, do we think that CDH is kind of coming into kind of being, I guess, quote unquote, solved? So like where everything's kind of figured out? Or do we think it's kind of like still evolving and people are trying to still figure out different ways to play it and different cards that fit?
Personally, I think it's still evolving.
Hmm.
You're seeing a lot more fringe. You're seeing a lot more off meta stuff trying to come up. We talked about this earlier.
Hmm.
So that's on me. I feel like it's still evolving. It's
Hmm.
definitely still moving in the right direction. It's got its hiccups, but
Hmm. I think
I think
go for it.
no,
Go
no,
go
go
go.
ahead.
Go. I think like I do think it's evolving too, and it's probably just going to continue to do that, just because like I feel like a lot of people are just getting bored of seeing the same thing.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
that kind of
for sure.
they're bored of the Rock Side, they're bored of the Tim the Crown, all
Blue
the stuff
farm.
like that.
Yeah.
The Blue Farm. They're just bored of seeing it. So they're
Right.
like, okay, let's figure out some other stuff that we could play, that we can put in there, that could probably compete. Even
Mm.
even if we get like one or two wins, whatever we're looking at. If it can compete, then I would rather play this because it's fun and it's different.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know what I
I
mean?
mean, even now people are learning. Uh, I see so many videos even now, not how to play Blue Farm, but how to beat and counter Blue Farm,
Yeah.
like all over the place, or how to counter Kennen, how to counter Sisse,
Uh-huh.
and I'm like, dang,
Mm.
bro. So people are just evolving more and more,
Yeah.
and that's what I mean by seeing a lot more fringe and like off meta decks, like in tournament play.
Mhm.
Now might not be making those top cuts, but you're seeing a lot of entries.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So take that with how you will. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
And also, I think with the addition of new cards, you're seeing different play styles. Like
Yeah.
you have Esper Terror.
Yep.
Mm.
That is a out, enchantment focus, which technically has access to all colors, and it's when you see it in play, it's beautiful. What was it? The one I like that I think is going to see more play is Kefka Court Mage.
Mhm.
That
Kefka,
was like
I can see that.
it. It's a value engine, and the way now that things are a little slower, it just pops out because if you're playing a deck list with anger, not only can you get the incoming trigger, the play trigger, then
Mm,
you have the on attack trigger. That means on a turn, you're already down. Your opponents are down minimum 2 cards. You're
mhm.
up potentially 6 cards or 8
Yeah.
potentially. That is, ugh.
Wild. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Having that much card advantage in a CEDH format is just astonishing. You're like, oh my God. Like,
And
you might as
I
well
think,
have your like built-in Ristic, is what it feels like.
Literally.
Right.
Yeah.
yes,
Right.
Yeah, you have a built-in Ristic to your commander, basically.
yeah, and I
Exile.
think
Yeah, immediately.
Get it off the field. Don't let it touch
Immediately.
it.
but I think I rather CEDH never gets solved because
Mhm.
what's the funnest thing is just seeing what works and
Mm.
what's different.
Mhm.
For
Oh
sure.
yeah.
Because yeah, these are the top decks, but then eventually someone's gonna be like, I'm tired of this. Let's
Mhm.
just try something else. And
Yep.
then all of a sudden you have that next tournament sweeping deck.
Mhm.
For sure. Yeah.
You
Just
know,
pop out of nowhere.
Leo and Shredder, Mikey and Raph.
Mhm.
You know, I love all these decks that are just coming out. So I'm with it. Was it's going to continue to go ahead and evolve and change, because as new sets come out and then people want to be creative, you know, who's to say like with not like Fantastic Four, somebody's going to make a Commander deck out of that or CEDH deck out of that or
Black
any of
Panther.
these
Black Panther.
Black
Yeah.
Panther, somebody,
Mhm.
you know, and that's just because like, you know, Penguin said it, people just get bored of seeing the same decks win. You know what I mean? I played Atali. I had fun with Atali, but now I'm sitting over here. I'm like, let me talk about this Raph and Mikey deck real quick. I want to see what happens with that. Like, let me pilot Penguins real quick because he kicked my butt the other day that one time he played it. So, but nah, it's
Ooh,
gonna
nice.
keep evolving. Honestly,
Baron. I see you. I see you.
Huh?
I'm Baron Proxies.
Oh, I
uh,
was like, as soon as the previews were out, I went on to work on that.
my
yeah,
man was already on it. Just on
right.
it. Did I feel that though?
Oh man.
Where is this? I lost my notes.
So, how do we think proxies changed access to CEDH? Do
Ooh.
do you think like a lot more people are playing it now, specifically because of the proxies?
Yes,
Oh yeah, 100%.
100%.
I do, because I
Yeah.
mean, yeah. No, sorry, Matt. Go ahead, Matt.
No, no.
I don't know. With proxies, I just think number one, it's just more affordable. But two, like, I'm sorry if somebody had a whole deck, like, you know, okay, let's say Ristic Study, for example, right? But instead of a normal art, they got an art that had a Beetleborg on it. Okay, and that's just the coolest thing ever to me because I grew up watching Beetleborgs. You know what I mean? So like, just because of art appreciation or just like deriving that, taking inspiration from that, the customization that you're able to actually go ahead and
Mhm.
do, I mean that's the seller to me.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my God. You caught me off on that one. I
People portal.
love that series. And I didn't create this, but I have one Mighty Morphin Power Rangers EDH deck.
Bro.
We
They
just
use the
became best
comic.
friends. Oh
Oh,
my gosh. Yes.
bro.
The
You're
artist.
talking to all three of us now. Like, wait a minute.
Yes.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. You got my attention.
I had to, like, my hard drive crashed, so I had to recover. I recovered it, but it's like now I have to reorder everything. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, click download now.
Yep,
There you
neat.
go. There you go.
But
See?
now, ooh, especially, I don't know if you keep up with it, but they have made um, the comic series for Power Rangers
Hmm.
excellent, but they have the Cyborg. It was
Yeah.
like in the same realm as Super Sentai.
Okay.
Let's see. I don't keep
Right.
up
No
with
clue.
that.
I haven't
No, I
kept up
remember.
for a
I
long
thought they
time.
were done making Power Rangers.
I mean, technically, right now,
No,
yeah,
No,
yeah, they
the
are.
like the boys
Technically, yeah.
like Jude watched it up until he's 15 this year, but
Mhm.
he watched it up until he was probably about 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I kept up with it,
Yeah.
dad stuff, and
Oh,
then
for sure.
my second
Grew
oldest
up in
boy.
time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, dude. So you can
Like,
just
God,
go into
man.
the fucking what is it? The Japanese one. Cumin
Super Sentai.
Kaiman Ranger? Something
Oh,
Ranger, bro.
Kamen
Kamen Rider.
Rider.
Yeah, Rider.
Kamen
There he
Rider.
goes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
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 Kamen
yeah.
Rider. So that
Now,
was another one to watch too. So yeah.
no, if you have not, they have an anime called Mikashi Wants to Become a Kamen Rider.
Oh
It is,
wow. Okay.
Hey,
trust me, it is.
write this down for Crunchyroll. Hold on.
Right.
Oh
Right.
yeah. So it
Everybody
is
stop playing too. Like,
a guy. The world doesn't have Kamen Riders, but they
Hmm.
have Super Shockers, the
Mm,
villain
Oh wow. Okay.
organization for real. So this guy absolutely wanted to become a common writer as a kid, but then life happened. But then he found out the shockers are real, got one of those common writer masks, and just
Mm.
decides to fight them. No
That's crazy.
Oh,
powers.
nice. Okay.
That's crazy, bro.
No, I for real like wrote it down. Like,
There you go.
Yeah. That
It's like
and
My Hero, but common writer. I like it. I feel
yes,
that.
and
that's
it's
pretty dope.
just the fact that it's still going, still good. And
Yeah.
then they have the live action adaptations
Mm-hmm.
coming
Still
from
going.
Japan.
Crazy.
Oh, now I
Oh,
have to find a way to make a series after this.
Right, right. Absolutely. See,
Yes.
you're
You're
getting
welcome.
inspiration right now. See?
You're welcome.
Now the hard part is what the heck,
Right.
because the hardest part is finding the right theme.
Yeah.
theme. I can imagine.
Because
I'm about to say, yeah, because you got to kind of match or I guess you would want to match the art with kind of what the deck is.
What the theme is.
Yeah,
Like, you know,
Right.
yeah.
For sure. For sure. You
And
want
I want
everybody.
it seemed like a good mix. Like, okay, for example, like I've seen at a LGS, somebody who's used like vampires, they had blade tokens for
Oh
Marvel.
shit.
Oh, yep.
Like, you know what I mean? I was like,
That's
whoa,
sick.
that's
Was it?
so
It was.
cool.
Was this like the Wesley Snipes blade? Like back in the
Mhm.
day? Like, oh,
Yeah, yeah.
bro, that
I
would
was
be
like,
so
dude, that's
cool.
so cool. For vampires, like, come on now. Like, cool stuff like that. That's stuff I think that's like, you know, pivotal and crucial to CEDH. Just it's the
Yeah.
customization. You're
Yeah.
able. There's so much self-expression in that.
And that's something I did notice going to like Albuquerque and a little bit before, like, getting into the CEDH community and whatnot. I've noticed in comparison to like casual EDH, in comparison to the
Mhm.
CEDH community, casual EDH community is very like almost like hesitant about proxies
Mhm.
Mm,
and almost kind of like and like altars and things like that. Like I'm really big into altars. Like I love hand painted altars. Like I try to do some of my own. Like I do tokens, random stuff, active player stuff. Cool. Um, but the CEDH community just seems so more accepting and like
mm,
willing to spend almost just as much as on an altar or a proxy as they were to with the real cards sometimes. They're really passionate about their altars and like proxies, I've
yeah.
noticed. And I kind of like that. I was like, everybody's really like, oh, bro, that's a sick altar. Let me see. And like, they get all geeked out and want to like trade. And I'm like, bro,
Mhm.
heck yeah. Saw it all over the place when we were in Albuquerque and just even here locally at any CDH stuff we go to. I'm like, bro, let me see your altars. What do you got in there? Like, oh,
Right.
that's, you know what I mean? It's almost like
Wonder why that is, bro. That's crazy. The people
I
who the
feel like it
people who
brings
play the
another collector element to an already collection game. You
huh.
know what I'm saying? Matt agrees. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's even
Yeah.
more so. It's even more personalized.
Mhm.
You're showing more self-expression. You're showing off another artist or yourself as an artist.
Mhm.
Like it, I feel like it just brings a little bit extra to the community. And with
Brings
the
that
CEDH
flavor.
player, it does. It's just a little flavor in it. A little bit more personality. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's just my take on it.
Mhm.
You know.
I don't know.
No.
It's just
Go ahead.
interesting that the group of players that play the most expensive version of the game are all down for cheaper versions of the cards.
Right.
But
Yeah.
the group of people
It,
that play, I guess it's still expensive because, Magic is Magic, but the lesser expensive of the two parts of the game
Mm,
just don't want to hear it when it comes, you know what I mean?
right. I've
Like
always
how
wondered that
yeah.
too.
it almost seems opposite. You know what I mean?
That's the weirdest.
It's the weirdest thing, you know?
Like I know for a fact, like this Lord of Pit, right,
Mhm.
is like a $9 card, right?
Yeah.
$9 card as well, right? And somebody at our LGS, what I'm saying, looked at it and they're like, "Bro, why would you do that? You ruined." And I'm like, I think it's pretty badass, bro. What do you mean? They're like, no, dude, you ruined a perfectly good like $10 card. I was like, I think it looks sick. All right.
Right.
And I was on the casual side. And then I went to Albuquerque and I had people being like, bro, I'll give you $30 for both of them right now. I'm like, well, I'm gonna hold on to them now. No, I'm gonna see how much more.
I'll catch you at
But
the
I did
next
end up
event. Let me
trading.
know.
I
Let me
had
know
a
if the
green
value went up.
Right.
one. Yeah, like I had a green one and ended up trading like that one for a
Yeah.
different card. But it
That's
was that sense,
crazy.
a totally different atmosphere when it came to it. People were like, "Bro, that's sick. Who did that?" I'm like, "I did." They're like, "No way." I was like, "Yeah, dude." It's like, I want that green one. I was like, "You got something?" They're like, "You
There,
like Yuriko?" I was like, "Yeah." They're like, "I got a Judge Foil Yuriko. I'll give you." I was like, "There you go." I'm like, "Thanks,
That's
man."
that's the
insane,
best
dude.
aspect. Like we said,
Yeah.
gathering.
Mhm.
It's the camaraderie
Yeah.
of
For sure.
you're here to play,
hmm
but you're here to play at the best level
Right.
of, and just if you can get it, you got it.
hmm
The artist that did the synthwave lands, that Secret
Okay.
Heresy.
Mhm.
Oh, I've
Oh,
seen
Those
those.
are
Those are
sick. Yes.
beautiful.
yeah, I have those, but before he got big, he was a proxy artist,
Oh shit.
and he did my Winota commander deck.
hmm
Nice.
The He did his style for Winota, and I was just like, it's in those situations I just wanted him to do the art because I liked his art.
hmm
There you go, man.
Yeah,
Nice.
And that comes down to the communal aspect and just supporting people that you enjoy their stuff, man. Doesn't matter the
Yeah.
status or what it is. Just, hey, man, I like your stuff. I'm gonna support you. Like, that's what it
Right.
should be about, you
hmm
know. Oh, I think that's
mm
most of.
That was everything. And then we can just roll
Yeah,
into. Speaking of support, it definitely support us on the Patreon. You know what I mean?
You're
yeah, that
stupid.
kind
You're so
of He's gonna
stupid.
put it there. Oh my god, I'm done with
Oh my
you.
god, bro.
You're just
All right.
trying to be content creators.
You know.
To end this off, man, Vibe, let everybody know what you got going on. What's the project you got going on? Where can they find you, dog?
all right. Thank you so much once again. On social media, you can find me at Vibe Proxies or Vibe Proxies 954. And currently, I am making a sequel to my hashed on Juji Ito deck. This one is going to be on his Uzumaki storyline. So it's going to be on my Etsy. And I'm also opening up a second Etsy store. It's called Saturday Morning Proxies. That is all in style 80s, 90s cartoons.
hmm
It
Nice.
is That one is more exclusively CDH, so
hmm
you're gonna see
Nice.
Rafa and Mikey. I have the mono red Casey Jones.
mm
Ooh,
Okay.
nice.
mm
That one just you copy it, gain 3, have tons of mana rocks and fast spells, so it's just storms off,
hmm
and then you have all those copies. So
Nice.
stuff like that, and just do my part. Just make the game more accessible, more fun. And for anything else, check out my Ko-Fi. I do all my stuff is print at home. So go
hmm
ahead, download it. If you'd like to send a copy my way, great. But if you need to print it, go ahead.
Sick, dude. Well,
Heck
that
yeah.
is that, man. If you guys aren't in the Patreon, again, it's the best way to support the Crying Raven. Make sure you head over there. Sign up for if you want a extra piece of content every single week. Make sure you sign up for the $10 membership. That'll give you again an extra piece of content every single week outside of this podcast. If you guys aren't in the Discord, that is where the community lives. That's where Vibe is right now. He came through in the Discord and he's now on a podcast. That easy. So make sure you guys head over there and join the Discord so that you can be a part of the community and maybe get a chance to be on the podcast if you want to do that. Thirdly is DZ Comics. If you guys are in Oklahoma City or you're driving through Oklahoma City, make sure you go hit up DZ Comics. It is a premier store that we are partnered with. We run events out of there. They also run a ton of events through Magic and also other TGCs as well. So make sure you head there and let them know we sent you. Last but not least is our very own Etsy store where we have t-shirts, hats, hoodies, play mats, pins, everything across the board. Make sure you guys head over there. Again, QR code on the screen. Link is in the description. Check out all that stuff. But that is going to be it for this episode. And we will see you guys next week.
Peace.